Welcome to the East Coast Clash 2025, and we've got Crush coming up against BCR in a second. First of all, we just would like to pay respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. We acknowledge that this event is taking place on Wurundjeri Woi Wurrung land. Always was, always will be.
We'd also like to take a second to thank our penalty box sponsor today, Deadly Sports Plus. They are an Aboriginal-led and LGBTQIA plus SB-led charity providing high-quality training and first aid services for all. All right, what have we got? We've got a minute and a half till first whistle, so we might talk you through these two teams that are in the open gender division today. We've got the BCR Hitsquad, who have brought some friends with them today, and the Sydney Crash Incredibles as well. If I bring up the Team 1 roster, this is who we're expecting on the field for Crash today.
So we've got 1-0 Jim Pregnable.
And 1-2 Penny Dreadful.
1-3 Scarlet Fox.
3-9 Biffy the Jammer Slayer.
4-1-6 Fang It.
6-1 Gyro Gearloose.
7-8-9 Plague Baron.
1-1 Glam.
1-2-0 Crime Brulee.
2-4-2 Captain Snagtastic.
4-0-4 Dr. Redacted.
5-1-9 Power Tool.
6-5 Wonder Maximif.
And 8-9-6 Crayon. And then up against them today is BCR Hit Squad and Friends.
We have 000 Rumpelstiltskin.
182 Bob and Basher.
2-4 Riley.
314 Scrapple Pie.
5-4 Drop Blair.
626 Hex Experiment.
6-6 Boba Fit.
128 Scottish.
2-2-1 Bad Wolf.
3 Denominator.
4-4-7 Fig Jammer.
6 Chaotic K.
64 Lanky.
And 747 Scramjet.
And we are about to get started.
All right, let's see how this goes. So both of these teams have already played today. This is their second game of the day.
So we've got Drop Blair up against Glam. Or Crime Brulee, I believe.
Yep, Crime Brulee. Oh, Drop Blair with a really nice turn there, coming straight out to achieve lead. Really good dip point there. And then Crime Brulee just struggling to get past that BCR pack.
Drop Blair coming around on a scoring pass.
Crash have managed to play some good offense and get Crime Brulee out. And Drop Blair calls it before they can come through and score any points of their own.
Great start.
What did Drop Blair manage to get? Is that I can't quite see until it hits the scoreboard. 2 points straight up on the board, first jam for BCR.
So this is Crash's second game of the day. Oh, and BCR's second game of the day.
Yeah, in a nice, very warm room. So their muscles definitely have not cooled down since this morning. They both played at about 9:30 this morning. 2 really good games first up. All right, who have we got jamming up here for Crash?
I'm just waiting for the scoreboard to update.
Oh, there we go. We've got Hex Experiment, I think that is, 626. Yep, Hex Experiment's taken the lead out for BCR. And we've got Glam jamming for Crash, and she's just stuck trying to get through that pack. She makes it through, but Hex is already through for 1 scoring pass. And they're looking for those points, a quick points and call. Oh. Yep, there we go. Called and managed to save all those points. Good work.
And we have Fig Jammer, our first visitor to the Deadly Sports Plus penalty box.
Ooh, I didn't quite see what was achieved there. Let's have a look. BCR. P pack penalty. All right, here we go. Oh, some bit of a hustle-tussle right before the whistle there. Both jammers fighting really hard to get through these tripods. Oh. Straight out. Scramjet up that inside line. Always a tricky line to protect if you're not careful.
Oh.
Rumpelstiltskin just shutting that Crash jammer down before they've had a chance. They were so close to getting out on their initial. Oh,
and there we go.
Great dart to the inside and up that line to get their initial done.
Oh,
Scramjet looking for that inside line as well, but calling it before Crash have had a chance to catch up and get any points of their own. BCR mean business today, definitely aiming to get some points on the board and just not give any space to Crash. So we'll see if they can get some points on the board with this next jam. All right, both jammers lining up, neck and neck, knee and knee. Straight hot start, and again, BCR just up that inside line with Boba Fett. I believe Boba Fett might also be out of Perth, one of the BCR friends that's flown over all the way from West Australia to help them out this weekend in this game.
And Dr. Reducted just getting some solid blocking at the back there by BCR.
And then, Boba nearly through, but Jim's just not letting them through, shutting them down all the way, returning to the back of the pack. Crash Jammer's still stuck.
We are in some tough spots.
Oh, both jammers just locked down on some solid tripods. Really struggling. Boba Fett just struggling to get through today. Oh, managing to push them out. As soon as they force them through to that 10-foot marker, well and done. Boba Fett's out for another scoring pass. Dr. Reducted still stuck on their initial. Oh. Somebody else, 416 Fangit, heading off to the penalty box today.
Boba Fett through again.
Dr. Redacted. A star pass to Jim. Haven't seen Jim jam yet today, so this could be interesting to see. Get that star on. Called before a chance to engage. Lots of really quick jams today. Obviously, new floor. Some of the teams are folding in. We're just seeing a quick turnover of points on board and calls. Crime Brulee back out for Crash. And who have we got coming out there for BCR? My eyes aren't good enough quite to see it to the other side of the track.
Oh, pushing.
Oh, great
Lovely.
speed.
Both out, though.
Both jammers out neck and neck, with BCR taking the lead and just being overtaken by Crime Brulee there. Calling the jam. Very smart call. We've got Glam coming out for Crash against Drop Blair from BCR. Official timeout. What are we looking at? We might need to fix some track. Definitely a problem every time.
I have a note here that says Glam will be trying out for Team Philippines at the Worlds.
Oh, that's exciting. Good practice getting in some track time now before heading to tryouts.
Oh my God. 36 degrees.
Yeah.
It's pretty hot in here.
It's reasonably warm in here and humid today. I can't imagine what playing roller derby in some of the subtropics would feel like.
Yeah, we'll give that one a miss.
All right. While we've got our timeout, we might just say thank you to some of our stall holders who've made the effort to come out and support this weekend. We've got So Neurodivergent, who makes amazing handmade products.
Yeah, Pineapple Page, fun, sassy stickers and gifts.
We've got Flea Bags, who's brought their fantastic handmade gifts with them.
We have Talk Derby to Me, all your roller derby essentials.
I definitely saw some sparkly laces. Dragon City Roller Derby.
Geelong Roller Derby.
And Victorian Men's Roller Derby have also brought their merch.
Excellent.
If you're watching at home and you've got anyone here on your behalf physically, encourage them to jump into the raffle that'll be drawn on Monday afternoon. Tickets are $2 each or 3 for $5. Some of the prizes donated are from Stomping Ground Brewing Co., Bayside Blades and Corey as well. Any funds come through obviously support us to continue to maintain and create events and spaces like this for us to play this wonderful sport.
So we're just having an official review, official timeout. We'll hopefully have some derby back in a second.
And see some good chatter and high fives between the teams, which is always nice to see. have a quick look and see what the penalty boards are looking like. Crash is doing pretty well. Just Fang with a directional. And Fig just with that pack penalty as well. Nice clean penalty board. 3 jams in. I love the height differential between the 2 jammers coming out today. Haven't already seen. You can see Glam's out there with that wonderful face mask, making sure she protects the moneymaker.
Going up against Drop Blair.
All right, 5 seconds has been called. We can see the teams now vying for their positions on track.
Oh, BCR giving a
BCR
lot of
just
offense off the line.
Locking that jammer down as well. Oh, we've had a penalty called. Oh,
BCR blocker.
bad Wolf heading off to the box. All right, Drop Blair just darting that direction and getting through. Oh,
we have a power jam.
negative power jam in BCR's favour.
Let's see what Drop Blair wants here.
Comes through.
This guy's on his own.
Wonderful juke with
own.
those shoulders there. Coming around.
Sorry, we will do our best with pronouns.
Communicating to their team here, just with hands to let them know that they want to go on their own for a second. Then BCR coming through and cleaning that up. It's a beautiful ping tip.
And freezes the crash jammer in the box.
All right, couple of second power jam start now for BCR. All right, lining up here.
Power start, love these.
Power start for the Hitsquad. Great acceleration from Hexperiment straight into that crash blocker and through, managing to bust their wall apart for lead.
Glam has been released. So
Oh, are we going to see some jammer and jammer?
we are.
Ah, missed it. But quick back into the chase. Great small recycle there from Crash. Oh, that was a beautiful star pass.
Oh, and we've seen Jim chasing at the front all morning, so it's going to happen.
All right. Nice switch through from the BCR team.
The Crash is sending out Dr. Redacted.
We've got Dr. Redacted going up. Is that Scramjet out
Yeah,
there?
I believe so. Yes.
All right. Oh, a little bit of backwards derby there. Very scrambly in those first 30 feet. Both jammers fighting. Scramjet getting recycled all the way to the back. Dr. Redacted pushing hard. Oh, just couldn't quite keep their momentum in.
But has been assessed lead, which I believe
and
is their first.
calls it.
I believe that was their first lead of the game.
Amazing effort there by those teams, and very strategic to have that great switch to understand that they achieved lead and call it.
You got to save those points.
Right. Crash yet to get some points up on this board because BCR is just shutting them down jam after jam. And they're just going for 4-0. Absolutely trying to squeeze as much differential out as they can today.
So we have Boba Fett going up against Plague Baron.
Yeah.
Oh,
Boba straight up that line. Jim trying to chase out to that 20 feet, but just no dice. Boba was too fast.
Oh, it gets him this time.
Jim throws that hip, determined not to let them pass again. Scramjet
There we go.
just really straight. There we go. Out of the box. Plague, sorry, trying to get through. All right. And calls it before they have a chance to get any of those points on board. Ruthless. Ruthless today. You just can't let anything go. These points just quickly creep up on you if you're not paying attention.
And Crash are doing so well. It's only been a few multi-pass jams. More often than not, it's a 4-0.
Getting really, really well switched to that offense to get their teammates out and force that BCR jammer to call it. All right.
Crime Brulee going up against Riley.
Squishbacks right on that whistle, and then just neck and neck. And you can see how hard these jammers are working to just get past these blockers.
And there we go. We have lead again.
Lead for Crash with both jammers within 5 feet of each other here.
Let's get some points.
And Crime Brulee just trying to get as much speed and distance to get those points on board. Or hits it and quits it.
Let's watch
How many are they going to be awarded?
Oh, 3.
3 points. First
We're
points
on the
on
board.
board.
Yes.
Congrats
Go Crash.
to Crime Brulee. Well fought and well earned.
Oh, some love on the line. Dr. Redacted and Drop Blair. It's always nice to see.
Both teams coming back right onto that jammer lane to take all that space away from those jammers.
Dr. Redacted. Oh, who is lead? Oh, Drop Blair is given lead, but together.
Both taking up those lines.
0-0.
Calling 0-0 and just freezing that Crash blocker in the box. Trying to give their team as much advantage as they can. And so much goes into calling a jam off, and you think about, is my team in the box? Is their team in the box? Do I have lead? Have I got all my points?
How exhausted am I?
Can I do this cleanly?
There we have Scramjet up against Glam.
Right. Again, both teams just really enjoying that coming right back onto those jammers and just not giving them any breathing space.
Scramjet out with
Scramjet
lead.
out on the inside line. And here a penalty get called. Who we got? Oh,
We have a BCR blocker heading to the bin.
yeah, I think that's Rumps. Yeah, Rumpelstiltskin heading off. Screamjet going through for another scoring pass. I don't think they even got touched.
Can we get Glam out on initial?
Oh, let's have a look. Oh, just
acceleration.
straight up that outside line with a quick transition to avoid Jim's hips.
And we've had a star pass.
Star pass successful from Crash. Scramjet's going to go for a couple of points. Call it. Just shut Crash down.
BCR just being clinical.
It's almost surgical. They're just cutting through and getting those points on board and then shutting it down as fast as possible to make sure that they can increase their differential. It's an incredible stamina, like 2 games in one day. And they started off playing VMRD, which is an absolute nail-biter this morning.
Yes, that would have been an incredible game, and I think it has been uploaded, so you can go back and watch that.
Absolutely. Make sure you've got some good popcorn. If you're a nervous nail-biter, sit on your hands. All right, I think we've just had an official timeout called. I'm just watching the timekeeper there. Yeah, I think the officials just need some hydration. Maybe some track fixing. Small BCR cuddle going on track. Crasher considering joining. Not sure what's going on. I think they're matching belly buttons. Or comparing. One of the two.
Favourite
There's
pastime.
a lot of stuff happening with bellies over there. All right, 5 seconds has been called.
We have Crime Brulee up against Experiment. Experiment working.
Shutting that down. Fighting hard.
Inside line.
Up those lines today.
Oh, and we will just take a quick break.
Just had us skated down. Going to be attended by the medics. Just like to have that off while we're doing that. Let's do some review of our penalties while we're there. Look how we're going. Nice even here for Crash.
Yeah, one penalty
Just
to a
one.
few. We've had the power jam, unfortunately, with Glam getting that cut.
Brutal. Cuts are just jammer
Let's
death.
have a look at BCRs. We've had a couple to Bad Wolf sitting with 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, So I think everyone's pretty safe at the moment.
I'll bring up the points differential, which is always a fun graph, but it just gives you an idea of the trajectory of the game. So you can sort of see as the game progresses where those points are being scored by each team. So just below the line is the BCR points, and above the line is where you can see Crash got those points on board.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Yep. You can see those first, 6 jams, BCR were really, really taking charge. And from, jam 6 or 7, Crash have really held their own.
Yeah, so you can start to see that Crash is starting to maybe warm up a little. They're definitely not a team that always works together. So they're finding their feet and finding what works for them and their communication as well of how to form their teams. And so you sort of see this a lot in the mixed games that we have where we've mashed a few leagues together, where it takes a couple to warm up and then we learn how to respond to the other team, and you can see these point differentials start to slow down a little bit, which is always nice to see. BCR obviously has a couple of ringers today, but their core crew is BCR, and some very serious tenure out there today in that team with some long-running skaters all together. All right, good to see Crime Brulee back on their feet. They're just going to go over and see the medics, just get checked out, make sure that everything's okay. Just a bit of an awkward fall, I think.
Better to be safe than sorry. Had a big morning.
It's really nice, to say, just on that note as well, really thank you to our first aid, which has been enabled today. And one of our major sponsors has been Deadly Sports Plus. They're our major penalty box sponsor today. So just to remind you all, they're an Aboriginal-led and LGBTQI... I missed a letter. LGBTIQA plus SB-led charity providing high-quality training and first services for all. And it's always nice to have the first aid here. Our sport can be very intense, and obviously we have the odd spill. And it's nice to be checked over and just make sure we're being responsible and assessing ourselves before heading back out on track.
Oh, absolutely. This is a very physical sport, and we need all the support we can get. And just having people, just to give you a once-over, just make sure everything's okay is very valuable.
While we're on thank yous, we'd also like to thank our venue, the Darebin Community Sports Stadium, for allowing us to come and crash and stink out their stadium for 3 days.
It's very sweaty.
It's very sweaty and very stinky in here, and it's day 1. It's 2 more days of people putting in. Today people are putting fresh gear on. Tomorrow, not so much.
Oh, yeah, I have not thought of that.
By Monday, it's just moist.
Yeah, and those cars driving home with that gear in there. Yeah, that's going to be a fun time. Windows down.
Yeah,
Windows down.
That's it. So we've got lots of people travelled from all over the states to come here today and help play this amazing sport. We'd also like to thank our streaming partner, Maven Morv, who's allowed us to get this cast up and running as well.
Bringing this to you live.
You know how hard it is to get out and actually be on the floor for the venue.
Yes, they're working very hard today. 2 tracks, games, slightly different timings. Yes, they're doing an amazing job. So I think we're just going to have a few minutes, and then we will be back with some derby. So we'll bring that right back to you. Okay.
All right. The camera's not on them, but I'm looking at the benches right now, and there's a lot of fans. And so I'm wondering whether I can convince them to get on track and do a fan dance during one of the timeouts to entertain you all. Seeing a lot of timeouts this weekend between track repairs, general hydration, checking in on incidents and things like that have occurred as well. It's just part of the sort of nature of the sport. But there's some amazing fans that are sitting in the box keeping those skaters cool in between their track time.
Yeah, I wish you could see this. Cutthroat Kings is being the personal fanner of the entire BCR box. Maybe we can get some of that.
Thinking more about asking Kings to get on track and do a fan dance for those playing along at home. Strong, maybe.
Yeah.
Priority right now is fanning their skaters and keeping them cool. It's a struggle to stay hydrated with the pressure of our helmets and all of our gear on top of the hot, steamy weather. Some of us, Light City Derby, are lucky enough to play in air-conditioned venues.
Yes.
But that is not the case all over Australia. Seeing a bit of movement by the officials here, so we might see this timeout be called in a minute. Just waiting for a few of them to put their gear back on. It's important all of our officials wear the same safety gear that our skaters do, minus mouth guards, because they're not obviously ideally engaged in the contact of our game. But they do, more often than not, become collateral damage from some of those knocks out of bounds straight into the ref. So they wear the same protective gear to make sure they stay safe, while ensuring that we stay safe by keeping us all in line.
Yes, we wouldn't be able to play the sport without them. So even if you are watching and you think maybe that's not sports, not for me, there are other ways to get involved. Lots and lots of off-skate positions as well as on-skate positions that are not playing, such as refereeing.
Very much a volunteer-run sport. All right, everybody's heading back out to the track. So we've got Bubba back out for BCR.
And Plague Baron.
And Plague Baron back out for Crash. Call 5 seconds has been called. The team sort of take a second and then they're, straight back on that line squishing. Oh, BCR opting for a 2x2 formation here. So 2 skaters behind the pack and 2 skaters in front of the pack to allow an offensive-defensive start.
Plague Baron has been awarded lead, though. So we're out.
And out. Okay. Crash has got... but Bobber is right behind them, and those skates are just moving to close that track distance down. Plague here going for some points. A couple on board and calling it.
I reckon
and
that's
shutting
4.
those BCR points down.
4-0.
Great work there by Crash to support that through. So we're about halfway through the first half. Got a 50-point differential. And if I just bring those points back up and show you how that's looking, we can see that trend starting to shut down and the game's becoming a little bit more even as opposed to the first 5 jams. So we'll keep an eye on that as we go.
We have Dr. Reducted up against Riley, right back on them.
Beautiful beautiful turn and transition on that outside to get up that outside line. Just almost being shut down by that last person standing, but just too strong.
Dr. Reducted having a real tough time with those strong BCR blockers at the back there.
Yeah, he's taken their star off, looking for that star pass. And sometimes they won't necessarily go for it. Sometimes it's enough to just be a distraction and make those blockers flinch.
Oh, lovely.
In this case, beautiful strategy there executed by Dr. Reducted. Get them distracted enough to just sneak up that outside line.
And Riley through for another 4 and calling.
And calls it to shut it down before Dr. Reducted has a chance to come in for a scoring pass.
So we will have a pack advantage for Crash at the start of this jam.
Who went? I didn't see anyone report to the box.
With the Deadly Sports penalty box, we have 1 BCR blocker. So let's see what if Glam going up against Drop Blair, if we can use advantage of this.
That line every time. They just have such a beautiful skip past the blockers. Like it's like magic. I blinked and they were in front of the pack. Lanky giving some amazing offense there and just Drop Blair gliding up
star
the
pass,
outside.
lovely.
Good star pass there for Crash. Drop Blair looking for the points before calling. Beautiful cut to the outside. Should be 2 points on the board. I'm not quite sure I saw the end of those hips. Yep. 2 points on the board for BCR.
Making that a 6-point jam.
That's all it takes, jam by jam. As long as it's 6-0, you're good, right?
Yeah. So Plague Baron out there against, I think that's Hexperiment.
That's Hexperiment, yep, 626. This is Lilo and Stitch reference for those playing at home. If you don't know, go watch the movie. Well worth it, even if you don't have kids.
Straight up the inside line, absolutely beautiful. Went through untouched. Plague Baron really trying hard at the front and out as well.
Beautiful dip around the outside, missing Scrapple Pie's hips. Scrapple Pie is well known for shutting those jammers down with that beautiful body and just...
And just a 1 point jam.
Sneaky one on the board. Looking good. All right, who's coming out here next? Oh,
I can see Dr. Redacted on the line with, is that Scramjet?
yeah, officials just called another timeout. I have a quick discussion. They're considering something, but I can't quite tell what. Yeah, just double checking some points or penalties that have been awarded with their two seated officials in the centre of our track here. It's a lot of paperwork behind the game to make sure that we can efficiently, effectively and accurately record penalties and points for the game.
So Crash also, just some interesting facts. They have 3 Team Oz juniors that are playing in Brisbane this year in July. It's going to be the Junior World Champs, and 3 of them are out there playing for Crash this weekend.
Oh, I think there's a penalty being awarded to Hexperiment just at the end of that jam there. And they are being sent to the box as a jammer. So Crash will start here with a positive power jam. They're just going to let the team know. Yep, BCR jammer heading back to their bench.
Let's see what Dr. Redacted can do with a power start.
Oh, great opportunity for Crash here to play some beautiful offense. Pivot's just running back to have a quick check. What would you like? Nothing like strategy on the fly when we get a lucky power jam awarded last second. BCR looking to go all defense and lock this jammer down. They've got to hold them for 30 seconds. If Hexperiment can exit the box and get out first, they can still be awarded lead this jam because their penalty was awarded in the last jam. All right, Crash looking at getting some heavy offense in there. Very tight pack. Both teams scrambling for some floor space here.
Really tight. And we're out. Beautiful.
Great lead achieved there.
For Dr. Redacted.
Really tight defense from BCR, and it took a minute there for Crash to split them up enough to get their teammate through. Coming in for that scoring pass now. Hexperiment will still need to build. Bit of a spill to the outside line.
Being recycled all the way back by Denominator.
All the way back behind Denominator and Bad Wolf. That is a hard tripod to come up against. Oh, but manages to sneak around, break it up a little bit, and call it. Get all 4 of their points before Hexperiment has managed to come through for their first scoring pass.
I think that's great work from both teams. I think if you can hold a team to 4 points when you have a negative power jam from a jam start for 30 full 30 seconds, I think that's great from both teams.
Oh, Crime Brulee back out on track after having a rest and a check.
And Scramjet out there for BCR.
Some beautiful speed and just relentless movement there from our jammers. Oh, Crime Brulee managing to hit the opposition jammer out without even attending it. Oh, and a beautiful hit out there by Crash 07,
and
one of the Team Oz juniors.
Lead awarded to Crime Brulee.
Beautiful recycle by Green 07. Apologies, I can't see their name quite from here. Prefer to use numbers just in case I get it wrong. Oh, but Crime Brulee just stuck in that pack at the moment. Called it, but maybe a little too late. So probably points on board for both. Yeah. 1 for Crash, 2 for BCR. Oh, I can see the tide setting in on the skaters. Game 2, 20 minutes into the first half in this heat. I feel like BCR should be used to the heat.
Yes, you would imagine so.
Depends on what their training facilities are like, but yes, it's
Okay, Boba Fett up
Ooh.
against Plague Baron.
It's just such great intensity to these starts with these jammers just straight into that pack. Just fighting and
Plague Baron out with
beautiful
lead.
speed
And Boba Fett not far behind.
Nah, and just chasing them down like those legs are moving to try and close that distance as much as possible to avoid the points bleed. Oh, what did we get? Oh, yeah. All 4 points on board.
And a call off in time to not let BCR have any.
Next lineup coming out. Glam back out with the beautiful face mask.
And coming up against Riley.
Ooh, haven't seen Riley in a few jams. All right, BCR doing the 2 and 2 again. 2 blockers at the back, right on that jammer. With the 2 at the front, enabling that beautiful cut through there by Riley up that inside line. Even managing to just get past the jammer slayer.
And Glam is out.
Oh, go Glam. That speed is gorgeous. Riley's looking to get all 4 of those points before they call it.
And
they're out and call before Glam gets a chance to come through.
they are working hard out there. I'm just seeing we've got blockers doing multiple back-to-backs, skating towards the bench and then being told, no, you're going back out.
How'd you go? It's always tough trying to figure out who needs to go back out and how to prioritise rest. There's a couple of blockers as well. Like I believe, is it 896? One of the Crash blockers is actually playing for a couple of teams this weekend. So this is her 3rd game of the day.
So we've got Drop Blair with lead coming back in for points.
Oh, quick transition to try and get past. Full 4-point scoring pass and...
Oh, have Creme Brulee scored some points.
Calling it. And I believe we might have just seen a penalty issued right on the whistle there.
No points on the jam.
0 points awarded. And I think we might see Creme Brulee reporting to the box there. Let's just have a quick look and see if we can see. I didn't quite see the call sign. Officials are having a timeout, so I might just have a look at that board. Where are we? Creme Brulee hasn't been awarded yet. We'll just wait for that to come
I can see Creme Brulee, and they're back at their bench.
Oh, no, they've been released from the box.
We have a few officials having a chat, though. So let's just wait and see.
It might have been that the engagement was right on the whistle, so sometimes... so you have up until the end of the 4th whistle to make legal contact.
Yes.
And so if that was misheard, it might have been that the official thought that the contact was outside of game time.
Okay, I think we have Hexperiment up against Plague Baron here.
Oh, that's a good matchup. Scoreboard does not reflect. Oh, beautiful. Just stunning out that line there from Hexperiment.
Plague Baron.
Beautiful offense from Crash. They're just enabling their jammer to get out. Full scoring pass by Hex, but having to call it off to make sure that they don't allow Crash to get any points on that board. Oh, the cuddles. What?
Has a cuddle and then gets told, no, please go back out.
Yeah, that's it. What did I say the thing on the wall says today? Hang on. I'll be back. I'm going to go have a look.
All right. Dr. Redacted heading out against Scramjet. And, we are in a tight pack. Dr. Redacted out and awarded lead. Scramjet, lovely. Reverse little hop over the apex. That was beautiful. And we're going to see possibly some hard hitting into some tripods. Oh, he's called it. Dr. Redacted called it. I believe that's going to be a 0-0 jam.
Oh, no, BCR managed to get 1 point up on that. I am back. I have to go read the sign. It says different colours, same passion. And I feel like that embodies this sport with the ability of, these two teams here are bringing multiple leagues together, multiple states coming out, and the camaraderie you see on track, not only within team but between the two teams, is just beautiful to see that this sport can be so inclusive and so welcoming to people to come and just enjoy an amazing weekend of full contact sport on quad skates.
Yeah. For a sport that is quite brutal, we have a lot of friendship out here.
If you haven't ever played before, definitely look into it. Doesn't matter what state in Australia you go to, you'll generally find a league that will welcome you in with open arms, as well as international. And there's no other, well, that I'm aware of, there's no other sport that you can just do that. It's a lot of gear to take with you, though.
Yeah, and time. But
Well,
we can play and we can have a lot of fun without that.
Yeah.
So we have a timeout taken by Crash here. Just to get some oxygen back in those lungs. It's very hot here today.
It is definitely warming up these 3 p.m. games in the afternoon. And I think we've got really gorgeous weather all weekend, which is a lovely opportunity, but obviously makes skating in a stadium without airflow or aircon a bit tricky with all the padding and the high intensity of the sport. All right, about to kick off again. Here we go.
Okay, we've got Boba Fett going up against
Glam.
Glam.
Oh, Boba Fett outside line, but Glam just not letting them have it and just
juke
straight
to the out.
through. Absolute powerhouse that is Glam, just cannot be held back by these blockers. Oh,
Glam's got points.
straight through. Boba Fett lead, falling.
Oh, Glam is out.
Glam through for 4 points on board. Boba making the decision not to call and go out as well. We'll see what happens here. Whether we get some jammer on jammer or Boba Fett.
I think we're maybe trying to clear the box.
There's a Crash skater in there.
Yes, sorry.
Both jammers just being recycled right now. Oh, that was close. That was nearly a cut. Boba Fett choosing to cut several of their skaters instead of the one that is allowed in same uniform colour. Jim coming in to play some offense for Glam, who is just being shut down by this BCR tripod here.
Boba Fett out for another 4 points.
Glam's feeling it. Boba Fett calling it. I think Glam's ready for the rest.
I'm very happy when the other jammer calls it.
Yes. We did have a few of those in our... We played a game earlier this morning, and I think even with the heat of game number 1, some of the jams we were like, yes, we're okay. We're done. We're
Please
okay with a
call.
break.
Please
That's fine.
save me.
Ready for some hydration and a seat. All right. Is that Riley that's gone out for BCR?
Yes, I can see Riley. I can't see the Crash skater.
I think it's Crime Brulee. Crime Brulee coming out for Crash.
Riley straight up.
BCR are loving these lines today. Just up the outside line consistently, and every now and then one or two of these jammers favouring that inside line, but their ability to just be so swift and skip past their opposition today has been stunning to watch. Oh, big hit there from Crash, just knocking
And Crime Brulee's
Riley
out
down.
on initial. So we will see what Riley does.
Right, Riley just struggling to get stuck. I think she might be having a bit of a gear malfunction there. Just went to stand up once or twice and straight back down onto the floor. So heading back to the box to check those toe stops. Even when they're still in, sometimes they can be a bit spinny, which means your toe stop moves, and so do you.
Yes, I can see on the bench. We're looking at it right now.
Yep.
So BCR just about to crack the 100. Drop Blair going up against
Plague, I think that is that there?
Plague Baron, yes.
All right. And drop bear, just a quick hit centre and up that inside line. It's beautiful work.
Oh, lovely by
Plague
Plague
out,
Baron.
half a track behind, but definitely going to probably force Drop Blair to get those points and just call that jam to keep that differential down.
So I did have a chat to Plague Baron earlier, and he is one of the Team Oz juniors that are heading over to Brisbane to play in the World Junior Champs. So keep an eye out for Plague Baron.
I just love an opportunity at our adult tournaments to get some of the up-and-coming junior talent to play with us. One, have you seen them play? But B, it really just allows them to integrate into the adult environment and start to make some good friendships and bonds within the teams that they'll fold onto once they turn 18.
All right, Experimental going up against Crime Brulee.
Oh, Hex out for lead. Crime Brulee so close, but just getting shut down by the beautiful blocking there of Bad Wolf.
And has got out. And Hex calls.
Calls it to shut those points down.
Another 4-0 jam.
We got 2 minutes left in the first period. Haven't seen any. Seen 1 or 2 star passes in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crash have done a 1 or 2.
Yep. I can just see Figgy from Perth wearing that pivot stripe consistently from BCR, and I have seen that man jam.
Yeah, it's
but
impressive.
Not today.
All right, Dr. Reducted up against Scramjet.
Whistle's gone. Jim going there for some offense straight off that line to try and just keep those BCR blockers from getting any formation together. And Jim is just relentless. He's just not going to stop until he gets his jammer out. Going all the way to the front of that pack. Beautiful work there by Jim's offense. I've been on the receiving end of it, and relentless. Just relentless. And now switching to defense. But Scramjet with that beautiful transition.
And Dr. Redacted.
Dr. Redacted through. 4-0. Beautiful work there by Crash.
All right, this will be the last jam of the first half. So Boba Fett up against Glam. BCR going for that 2 and 2.
The 2 and 2 seems like a fairly consistent formation for these BCR blockers.
Glam's passed and Glam is out lead.
Lead for Crash Glam. Boba Fett fighting hard up that outside line. Just getting shut down here by this defense. Managed to reform, but up that outside line.
And Glam, All right, we will be back shortly with some derby.
Just had an awkward fall, so we're just going to let the medics go and do what they're very good at. When we have our awkward falls, we try to give some respect to our skaters and just a little bit of privacy, and just so they can take a second to make sure they're okay. The adrenaline that pumps through our body with these sports, sometimes we can be a bit quick to think, I'm fine. I'll stand up.
We need to be checking.
So we just like to take a second. We thank our officials. They generally allow us to form a small barrier as well, just to help the crowd avert their eyes from a skater who might need a second. All right, well...
Let's check the points.
We're walking. You can see this differentials now. Still definitely in BCR's favour. Its current score being 107 to 29 at the end of the first half. There goes our rolling whistle.
So that is half time.
Half time.
All right, and we will be back in the second half.
All right. See you in 15 minutes. welcome back for half two. We've just had the rolling whistle. Both teams have sent their lineups out, and we're about to wait for our 5 seconds to kick off. Here we go.
We have Lanky up to jam for BCR. Coming up against Plague Baron. Plague Baron straight through the middle.
Lanky just using those long legs, but just not quite getting past that blocker on the outside line, and recycled all the way to the back.
Plague Baron around turn 2 and 3, straight out. Another first scoring pass.
Lanky shut down on their initial pass. Stash that star, looking for the pass. Oh, beautiful skip there to avoid that hit out from Makita.
Plague Baron out for another 4 points. This is a great start to the second half for Crash. Star pass to Figgy.
BCR just managing to slow that down. Oh, we're going to see a chance to see Figgy do some jamming, or is Plague going to call it and shut? Yeah. Brief moment of sunshine there for 447 from BCR, visiting skater from Perth Men's Derby Figgy.
A 12-0 first jam of the second half to Crash. What a great start for them. That would be their highest scoring jam of the match, I would imagine.
Keep that trajectory up for this half. They'll hit triple digits.
Okay, we have Drop Blair going up against
Crime Brulee.
Crime Brulee.
Crime Brulee just being shut down there by, I believe that's Bad Wolf. Yep, at the back of the pack, but managing to slip past and just behind 5-4 Drop Blair. Drop Blair's probably got about 10 less than feet to come through and score some points. Neck and neck. Choosing not to call it. Oh, there'll be points on board for both jammers here. 2 points for Crash.
And the 4 for Drop Blair.
Both teams looking a little tired as they slowly find their way out to the jam line. It is. I can't explain to you how warm it is in here, guys.
I'm feeling tired.
It's.
And they're putting in a lot more effort than I am.
All right, Hex Experiment out there for BCR.
Against Dr. Redacted, I believe.
Oh, Dr. Redacted with a beautiful lane 4 skip up that line for lead. Hex not to be defeated, coming up that inside line with a beautiful assist there by Figgy. Great comms from the Crash team. Now they're finding their feet together as a team. They've had over an hour together today. Oh, a little bit of a slip up there, but shutting down Hex, but not without yielding a couple of points over to the BCR jammer. Oh, maybe just one.
Yeah, that was a tie jam, 1-1.
Low scoring jam is a good jam. All right, Crime Brulee. Crash unfortunately have lost a jammer over halftime, so they will probably see a bit of a higher rotation through from their remaining jammers. Glam has unfortunately not been able to return to the track.
A third straight lead jam for Crash to start the second half. Boba Fett out on his initial pass, about a half a lap behind. Crime Brulee smashing through that tripod.
Nice quick call off. Looks like one of the Crash blockers is going to be reporting to the box. All right, Riley out for BCR. Plague out for Crash. Oh, beautiful defense by Wolfie. BCR's defense just looking a little bit scrappy at the moment. There's lots of 1-on-1 and 2-on-2, which is giving Crash just enough room to get that forward momentum. They're not getting as much shutdown as they were in the previous half. And Crash just capitalising on that.
Is the second, we can't say how hard this would be. This is their second game of the day. So
Jim just having a nap. Back on track. There we go. Jammers are neck and neck. BCR's got lead right now. We've got to make a call about whether to run it and clear the box. There we go. Try and maximise as much as we can to reduce their blockers' time. All right, got Dr. Redacted heading to the jam line for Crash. Who's the BCR jammer out
That's
there?
Drop Blair.
Drop Blair heading out for BCR. Pack advantage here for Crash, but they're not choosing to take the back line. They're going to come back and squash those BCR blockers and try and get that offense happening. Drop Blair with a juke in, straight through that tripod. Beautiful movement, almost just gliding around those blockers.
Dr. Redacted only 10 feet behind, so let's see what happens.
Neck and neck. Still trying to just kill that penalty box time, deciding whether to go for some points. Managing to skip through. 4 points on board, but out of bounds on that fourth blocker. It's a beautiful knockout and run back. But Dr. Redacted also recycled.
Unfortunately, 07 heading to the penalty box.
Right. So no call off yet this jam. Both jammers strategically looking to their bench for instruction about how to run this jam, given that the box has started to fill up in the second half. Coming in for those points score, you can see Drop Blair's beautiful juke just there, ducks to the out and then cuts in, confusing the blockers enough to expose some legal target zones.
A lot of action there for an 8-8 jam.
BCR starting with pack advantage for this, with 007 for Crash starting in the box. We've got Hexperiment coming to the line, up against Crime Brulee. BCR looking at taking an interesting formation of, looks like they're going for 2 and 2. Yep, 2 and 2, so 2 pairs of blockers operating as 2 individual units and then choosing to reform into a tripod once they've gotten their jammer down and out.
Crime really pushing at the front, unfortunately being told that they used the forearm and they're off to the Deadly Sports penalty box.
Experiment now for a scoring pass and a power jam. Starting to see a few different formations come through. Over the years, we've seen a transformation from flat 4 walls through to reverse 4 walls, through to cubes. Tripods being a very consistent theme, but 3 and 1, the tripod being a consistent thing. So getting these teams to see 2 and 2 is quite interesting to operate as 2 unique units. BCR have chosen to ice the jammer in the box. So Crime is standing, but probably has somewhere just south of 10 seconds to serve before being able to come out and attempt to obtain lead. So Crash have got a bit of a tough task ahead of them to hold Boba Fett back long enough to achieve that. Gives BCR the advantage of trying to get lead and an extra 10 seconds to do that, I guess, on the board. Both teams sort of crushing each other here just off the start. Boba Fett nice and fast. Oh, straight into Jim though. And Jim's just going for that one-on-one blocking, but just can't quite get them to the line.
Jim straight to the front again. Out and lead.
Boba Fett's got lead, but Crime's coming on for their initial. So BCR are going to have to shut them down to be able to stop any bleeds. Boba Fett's ability to run that line. Full toe stops. The commitment and fearlessness of these jammers when you watch the feats that they dare to achieve without washing their speed off never ceases to amaze me in this sport.
And a call off before Crime could get back for points.
All right, we've had a timeout called. Looking at an official timeout. The officials just needing a second to either double check something or maybe just hydrate themselves.
Let's just see how this second half the points are going. So as you can see, a much more even spread of the points, especially coming out of the halftime when Jams 1 to up to 5. BCR finding their feet again.
Yeah, so we finished the first half with a triple point differential. So Hitsquad was nearly 3 times the score of Incredibles, and the Incredibles have started to be able to shut that down a little bit. So we're sort of sitting in between double and triple, but it's currently, 59 to 139. So just over double their score. It's really important to allow our officials time to hydrate in these games. Often our officials do, we might play 1 or 2 games a day. Our officials are sometimes officiating 4 or 5. They're doing back-to-backs. They're out there. They don't get the drink breaks we do. They're on all the time, jam after jam. So it is nice to see them taking a minute as well, just to make sure they stay hydrated and get safely through the hot weekend. That's the end of our official timeout. There goes our 5 seconds. Skaters are slow to form together, but let's see how this goes.
We've got Riley up against Plague.
Oh, Plague down on their knees, but straight back up. Inside line, straight past Grapple Pie for lead. Great work there by the Crash team. Oh, Riley being sent to the box there.
Power jam.
For a forearms.
For Plague.
Crash can capitalise on this and just squish that differential down a little bit more.
Plague did have a 12-point jam to start this half. Let's see what they can do with a power jam.
Oh, beautiful line work, but not quite makes it. Makes the choice, rather than to spend time on the recycle, they've iced Riley in the box to give, looks like Dr. Redacted, a chance to come out here and score lead and start with a power jam advantage. Crash opting for a mid-start, so not back line, not front line, just coming and sitting just in front of those BCR blockers to enable some offense. Jim doing a quick check-in, getting straight into that BCR tripod. Oh, Dr. Redacted attempted line run there, but just was knocked straight back by Black 6. I think that was Chaotic K. Just would not let them take that line. Pivot says no.
Riley's released from the penalty box.
So Riley will still need to make an initial pass. So Redacted's got a chance to get some more points on the board before potentially choosing to call it. Can see another forearms call being issued there, but I'm not sure who to shoot. Oh, Jim, 1-0 off to the box for forearms. All right, Crime Brulee heading back out for Crash. And
Drop Blair
heading out for BCR. BCR have pack advantage with Jim starting in the box. Can't quite see on the camera, but he's having quite a casual layback there. Sneaky rest. Both teams opting to come back and squish right for that whistle. Reduce as much space as they can for their jammers, but also be close enough as a friendly for opposition.
Oh, lovely little apex jump by Crime Brulee there.
Gorgeous escape from that to be able to try and challenge Blair.
Oh.
And, now did they manage to get some points? No, not quite quick enough. But they did manage to make Blair call it before scoring all 4. So only 3 points on the board for that jam for BCR. So I was talking about halftime. Incredibles were about, what was it? Oh my gosh.
You were saying about 3 times.
3 times the score. So Hitsquad at BCR were 3 times Incredibles. We've just hit the double. So Incredibles are just about to approach 70 points. So they're on 69. BCR sitting on 142. So definitely, while BCR are maintaining their lead and really shutting most of these jams down, Crash are applying really good pressure in this second half to make them call it a lot faster.
Can her
less
experiment
points.
score some points?
Oh, now did Hex get any points? 2 for Crash, 1 for BCR. Not quite quick enough to call it before Plague managed to get in there and get 2 points of their own up on the board for Crash. And that's all it takes, is just those couple of points to start to bring those differentials down.
Okay, Dr. Redacted going up against Boba Fett.
Both teams, again, opting to come back and squish onto that jam line right at the last second. Both jammers fighting hard, pushing those tripods. Boba Fett again with that beautiful line work up the outside. Dr. Redacted struggling to get through this BCR tripod. Stashing their star right now, but their pivot's busy behind them. So it's not going to create much cause for concern to BCR. They're just going to want to know that that pivot's not up front. As soon as they start looking for that star pass, Scrapple Pie just looking to shut that down one-on-one blocking, but has to yield. Both jammers out, looking to their bench for instruction about how to continue. Being told to call. Just ensuring that Crash doesn't get any points on that board. Creme Brulee having a sneaky little nap there. Up they get. Off they go. Sneaky rest before the hard work that's in front of them with the star on their head. Going up against Riley. Oh, that is a tall BCR tripod out there with Scramjet, Lanky and Denominator from BCR. Our friends wrote in. Riley nice and speedy with that twitch, trying to get through, and straight up that inside line gets through. Both jammers are out though, and there's only like less than 5 feet between them. I cannot believe the speed on Crime managing to chase and close that gap every time they don't get lead. And hit that tripod first for points. Oh,
definitely points.
Amazing work there. 0 points awarded to the lead. 3 points awarded to Crash, which is just an absolute testament to the speed that Crime has on them to be able to close those gaps and get into that pack each time. They say, not getting lead will not stop me winning this game. Or winning this
jam. It's going to make it a bit harder, but yes.
Jam by jam. If you can't win the game, you win the jam. That's how we go.
We have a timeout. An official timeout.
Yep. Official timeout, just for some more hydration. Again, reminding you how hard our officials work. If you're here, make sure you high-five them. Say thank you. These things don't happen without a huge amount of investment into the planning, the volunteers, venues, sponsors, officials, to make sure we can play this sport. We need somewhere to play. We need to be officiated. We need to be fed and watered. Oh, I can definitely see some damage to that track on turn 2. We've just got that wonderful jam timer out there right now fixing that for us. Again, always a wonderful thing when you get to come to tournaments and play with a raised track. Having that rope under that tape really allows you to understand if you've left the track or not. Reduces the cuts for the jammers and just enables a little bit more awareness of when you're in the zones. However, it gets ripped up very easily by our skates and our hit-outs. So we do need to make sure that we're just repairing that as it goes, otherwise it becomes a bit of a hazard.
Yeah, it's a full-time job. So we've just received some news. Due to the hot weather, the halves have been halved. We're playing in 15-minute quarters now, so we're just having a 5-minute break. So when we get a rolling whistle, we'll be right back with you.
About a minute left on this break. Skaters are just coming out. If they keep moving, at least there's a breeze. So that keeps them a little bit cool, I guess. Most of them just taking an opportunity to fill their water bottles, rehydrate, take their helmet off, release the heat from their heads. But we will be back with you shortly. Just Glare Bear there being an amazing bench crew, filling up all of her team's water bottles for them.
So yeah, just emphasising, both of these teams have played. This is their second full-length game today. So a lot of effort, and definitely these breaks are hard earned. Currently nearly 32 degrees right now in this.
With a wonderful heat wave warning on bomb for Saturday through to Tuesday for Central and West Districts.
All right, I think we have
all right.
Crime Brulee versus
Jam is
Chaotic
back on.
K. I think this is the first time we've seen Chaotic K jam. And Crime Brulee up the inside line.
Amazing work there. BCR moving very quickly into their offensive positions to help enable Chaotic K out of that pack.
Oh, beautiful offense
BCR
by
getting their defense ready.
447 Ziggy.
Gorgeous spin there. Wolf thought they had them out, but not quite. Tried for an effort there.
So they're going to run it. And Chaotic K in for their first scoring pass.
Chaotic K being taken through to that outside line. Recycled by Green 07, which is one of the Team Oz juniors out there today. Can't quite see their name. I think it might be Penny Dreadful. Yeah, Penny Dreadful. Sorry. Everyone's wearing borrowed jerseys.
Borrowed jerseys, borrowed numbers.
A little bit of track damage there from that outside line hit that the officials are thankfully repairing for us. Both teams taking the opportunity to just line up, have a chat. We've got Plague heading out for Crash. Drop Blair heading out as a jammer for BCR. Another really tall pack out there for BCR today in that defensive space. Denominator, black 3. You've got Scramjet 747, black, and Lanky over from PMD as well. And then I believe Chaotic K's come back out as a blocker as well. That length just covers the track so easily, making it even harder for the opposition jammers to get through. All right. Thank you, officials, for fixing our track. Rolling whistle. We're about to get the 5 seconds. Very intensive start.
Oh, we've got a race.
Neck and neck. Yeah. Both jammers out at the same time.
Oh, they've given it to
Crash has been awarded lead. Took a second for the jam refs to agree there who got that one. It was pretty close and both taking a line. Race is on. Crash is determined to get points on board.
It is an amazing race. Both through for 4 points. Plague Baron, one of the Team Oz juniors, is just so fast, and Drop Blair is keeping up. Oh, toe stop work on the inside line.
But both jammers through. 4 and 4 again. Beautiful work. Beautiful footwork by both there. Straight through those tripods. Charge there from Drop Blair, just knocking their opposition out of the way. And Plague Baron's just been shut down this time by that tripod.
Will we see a call?
Yeah. They choose to call. Let's see how those points ended up falling. 3. So just a 1 point differential there lost to BCR for that score pass. Beautiful pass by Drop Blair coming through, destroying the pack.
Yes, very fast moving jam. All right, Dr. Redacted heading out for Crash, and Hex going out for BCR.
BCR looking at a 2-and-2 formation again. 2 at the back, 2 on the side. Looks like when they do this, the 2 at the back are looking at a defensive formation and the 2 are looking at a double offense up front. One of them looking to reform straight. The Scrabble Pie looking to come back into that defense, but not quite achieving it. Oh, 2 jammers both fighting at the front.
And Dr. Redacted awarded lead.
Great work there by Team Oz Junior, 07. Penny Dreadful shutting that jammer down and just holding Hex for quite a few feet by themselves, which allowed that pass. 0-0 pass. Differential's looking really good up on that scoreboard. Hitsquad at 159, Incredibles at 93. Just proves this Incredibles team is just really managing to bring it back together and shut BCR down a little bit to avoid that points bleed. 11 and a half-ish minutes left on the game.
Boba Fett on the jam line with Crime Brulee.
Crime Brulee just looking at some side to side, just trying to find a space to come through. But Boba Fett is just, unfortunately got the forearm sent to the box. Crime Brulee gets out, is awarded lead and a positive power jam in their favour. Jim getting in early to just try and disrupt that defence, not allow them to form anything to stop their jammer.
Knocked out by Lanky.
Lanky's getting that hit out in the run back, but stopped by Green 519. Great defence there. Boba Fett standing in the box, ready to return. Scramjet speed, just the ability to knock them out. Last person standing and recycle all the way to the back of the pack. But Crash taking some prisoners as well, getting that cycle back through. Oh, Boba Fett trying to get through and just shut down by Crash there at the second, having to take a knee.
So Riley up against Dr. Redacted. Again, 2-and-2 formation from BCR. Really catching that Crash jammer really early on. And Riley is out and lead. And Jiffy, the jammer slayer, off to the penalty box.
Yeah, I think there was a sneaky high block in there.
And the Dr. Redacted heading to the penalty box as well. So we have pack advantage and a power jam for BCR.
BCR choosing to freeze the opposition jammer and take the advantage start as opposed to running this one through. Forearms for Dr. Redacted. I was just waiting for that to come up. Always a sneaky one. Telling you, jazz hands. Just jazz hands, everyone. Jazz hands don't get forearms. Just ask Spoons from Light City Derby.
All right, power jam start for Drop Blair. Let's see how they offense off the line.
BCR with a very fast start there. No passive offense in this game.
Doing a good job to hold it up early. Great blocking.
Great block. Oh, no, same team, own team. Wait. I think there's some shenanigans being played here with BCR blocking their own jammer. Yeah. Unsure. Why? Bit of fun? Why not?
All
Make
right.
Drop Blair work for it. Still got lead.
Dr. Redacted, he's out of the penalty box and on through
Oh,
on
no,
initial.
they're going to do it again. BCR have decided that
They're going to block their
they're
own
going
jammer.
to block their own jammer. And Drop Blair is awarded a penalty and heads to the box, giving Dr. Redacted a positive power jam.
And not blocking Dr. Redacted, letting them through for another 4 points. We'll see what happens on this pass. We aren't exactly sure what's happening here.
I think everyone's just a bit hot and bothered, and so we've decided to just have a laugh. They're setting up an apex jump. Scored it through. Amazing. Landed, scored the points, and back to everybody blocking.
Blocking drop
Blair.
Denominator
hugging his own teammate here to stop him from going through.
So we only have 15 seconds of this jam left. A 20-point jam for Crash, even we're not really blocking. 24 points. Not exactly sure of the conversations that were had between the two teams there, but something has obviously happened with both teams blocking drop Blair.
I think we're back to our normal program. Looks like it.
Experiment out with lead. Plague Baron not far behind, half a lap. Hex through for 4 and calling it off.
I think BCR might be about to call a timeout. There we go, right in 5 seconds. Whenever you call a timeout, you always want to maximize that downtime for your team. So rather than call it at the end of the jam, you would just wait for that 5-second call or close to, just to really make sure you've got the maximum amount of time to work with your team, talk them through the strategy, or give them the amount of rest they need to be able to come out with refreshed legs. Slender Jam taking a sneaky knee there in the middle, giving us a timeout show.
So 5.5 minutes of gameplay left. Let's check the penalties. Haven't really had a look at these lately. Let's see if anyone's in trouble. So we have Crash. We have a few skaters with 3. Jim being one of those. And that's 0-7. And for BCR, we have Bad Wolf with 4 penalties. So we're only 5 minutes left. Everybody should be fine.
BCR there just sending Scrapple Pie off with a happy birthday song. Just de-gearing off onto the side of the track. So I'm not sure we'll see Scrapple Pie back out for the rest of this game.
So we've got Boba Fett up against Crime Brulee. And BCR again going 2 and 2 at the front and in the back. And Crime Brulee getting held up, and Boba Fett really pushing hard at the front. Good bridging by Crash. 0-7, unfortunately, blocking a little bit too long out the front and being sent to the penalty box.
2 and 2 formation just seems to be working so well for BCR today. Boba Fett with a really nice another scoring pass there. Nearly lost their footing, but gorgeous recovery. BCR shutting Crime down.
Boba Fett back in for another scoring pass, goes to the out, and lovely blocking.
Beautiful juking there, just the ability to engage with that tripod, lead them to one side, and then circle back around to the spot that they've created for themselves.
And Boba Fett decides to call it. This weather really doing a number on our skaters. Is the visible how tired they are.
Official timeout now. Just I think we've got another bit of track damage just off to the side after turn 2 that the official's just going to quickly fix for us before we start the next jam. We're seeing the refs join in the game out on track here, seeing who can get the lowest while some of our officials are fixing the track. Oh, bit of a circle dance happening there at the jam line. Always a good show at roller derby. All right, here we go. Waiting for our 5 seconds call from our wonderful jam timer today.
All right, Riley, I can see for BCR against Dr. Redacted, and lovely spin on the inside line.
Spin around that inside line.
And Dr. Redacted not far behind, probably 30, 40 feet.
Both jammers coming back through. Dr. Redacted coming through, clearing a few of those BCR blockers up and managing to get through and score their points. Riley just stuck at the back, but not for long, straight through. Choosing to call it off for a 4-4. Couple of jams left in this game. What have we got? 60 points in it. Don't know, magic might happen. Looks like Denominator's put the star on for BCR. We might be ready to see some more what's happening. Okay, Denominator jamming. Getting held by Jim right at the back of that pack there. Definitely some friendly animosity between the two. I know they've got some history through men's nationals over the years. Oh, Plague just not quite making that inside line. Getting recycled by 50.
Denominator being sent to the penalty box for a forearm penalty.
Giving Crash the so desperately needed power jam to really shut this point differential down. And I think the tiredness is really starting to set in on these skaters now. We're seeing a lot more falls and just everything slow down.
Plague Baron through for another 4 points. Beautiful work around that tripod.
Crash looking to set up their offense and shut down those really strong BCR defensive formations. Getting Plague straight back through for another 4-point pass. Rumpelstiltskin reporting to the box for a forearm, so Crash will start with pack advantage.
Denominator had just left the penalty box, so BCR will be sending out a jammer. All right, and we're back on jam line with Drop Blair versus Crime Brulee. Drop Blair to the outside line again.
Beautiful blocking at the back of the pack there by Bad Wolf. Just holding Crime Brulee one-on-one. Just relentlessly shutting them down. Both jammers fighting hard to get through. Drop Blair just nearly getting that outside line, but being dip in.
A lovely backwards spin jump by Crime Brulee as well.
Crime Brulee looking for some jammer and jammer action. Drop Blair calling it to bring that to an end.
All right, down to our last minute, so possibly our last jam of the game. So Dr. Redacted going up against Boba Fett.
Quick start for both jammers. Such hard work for them today, but they make it look so easy sometimes. Boba Fett just clearing through that tripod. Dr. Redacted just being shut down by this bicycle chain of BCR blockers. And they are working as individuals, but you can just see that they're still cycling from one blocker to the next. Figgy doing some awesome defense there. Nearly up. However, Rumpelstiltskin managing to get that jammer down, but not out. Trying to fool them into getting the cut. Oh, hang on. Oh, they did get the cut. They must have had a hand or a foot out of bounds and not realised.
Dr. Redacted stepped out to recycle, and his team told, their team told them to hop back on track. Unfortunately, that was the draw on the cut. And that's the final whistle.
All right, we've been called. We'll just wait for a rolling whistle.
So unofficial score at the moment.
136-192. In favour of BCR and friends. Hitsquad. Congratulations. Stay tuned for more Derby. Chaos Clash is up next to finish us off today. We've got 2 more days of Derby. Please make sure you tune in. Support your local leagues. Come down. And again, thank you to all of our officials, volunteers, sponsors and friends. Enjoy the rest of your day.